Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for the first battle report of the WTC. This was against the Danish team called Equally Diced, featuring some of the last year ETC team, including Christopher, who I was facing for this first round, and he was playing VC, an army that I know very well because that's the army against which I've been playing the most since my usual opponent is playing them. My list, you know it already, and this is my opponent's list. So basically he's playing a Cavalry Death Star, 13 Baronite, within them 4 characters. You have a Fell Wraith on Skeletal Steed, a Necromancer with a 3-up armor save on Alchemy, a Courtier BSB with the True Thirst, with a 1-up I guess, with a BSB, an Adept Evocation, so Adept Alchemy, Adept Evocation, and a Master Occultism. The big count basically, von Karstein, with a 1-up, 2-up I guess in close combat, 4-up ward save, a paired weapon Kingslayer MR2. Then other than that he has a boss of ghouls and a big unit of Ghast as main combat threat, so 3 main combat threat. To fill up his core he has 2 units of zombies, a scoring unit, 1 piece of chaff, and a big unit of bats, bat swarm that we don't see that often but still offer a lot of health point and could potentially block a unit for a very long time. 2 chaff pieces, and then a versatile spectral hunter unit that can be annoyed on flanks, potentially also be a piece of chaff. So quite typical what you would expect from a Death Star list, meaning enough stuff to feed the opponent during the time that the Death Star can fight one stuff after the other. And other than that, yes, still quite a lot of health point, what you like to see in Vampire list, that could absorb some round of combat and also beat some stuff in combat. We played Secure Target on Refuse Flank. My spell selection, I debated again a little bit about Wrath of God, no Wrath of God. Basically I wanted Hand of Heaven for the Chaff and Fell Wraith, not Fell Wraith, Spectral Hunter, sorry. And then my usual buff debuff sequence, and the last spell it was between Breast Weapon, Wrath of God, and Trial Face. Didn't know exactly what to pick. I like the fact that Wrath of God has an influence on where the chaff can be on his line and could potentially force his chaff to back up, which I like. And his spell selection, he went very combat buff oriented. Basically, as you can see, Master Evoke took Ward Save, Rot Within, Hereditary, and then Toxic Breath. The Alchemy Adept took World Fire and Glory of Gold, and then Spectral Blade with Evocation. So basically he has a lot of ways to buff combat and heal, but not a lot of range damage. So like I said, when you look at his magical setup, I think you have some hints that he might want to fight in this game. He has plenty of chaff, so I need to be careful where he can go and also try to target them with range damage. Cavalry Death Star, yeah, I know that Baronite, I faced them a couple of times. I know they can be a liability because of weapon skill 3, resistance 4. They don't strike well when they don't charge. They can be hit easily. So yeah, I need to pay attention what they can do. Obviously, Night Boss on the charge are still quite scary, but if he doesn't charge, I think I have some option here. And definitely I wanted also to zone him a little bit with my Tusker that have similar movement charge range, basically, to make sure that if he wants to come aggressively forward, I could potentially charge with my Tusker against him and do a lot of damage. Secondary objective, yeah, he has some blocky scoring, so 2 zombies, 1 ghoul unit, so 3 infantry and the Death Star. So basically if I pick a spot hard to reach, it could be hard for him to maneuver to get there, especially considering the number of scoring that I have. And yeah, we have a dicey combat that could happen, which is the count against my Great Khan. Basically he has Kingslayer, so he's starting at 6 attack strength 5, but could easily go up. And on my hand, yeah, I have a couple of attack strength 7 with multiple wound D3, so it could be a dicey combat and interesting. My estimation of the matchup was a 10. I think we both have some combat arguments. I have a bit more range damage to maybe win it from range. When I check his spell selection, I see that he might want to be aggressive, so it could be an interesting game to play. Deployment. I won the roll for sight and basically put an impassable on his small triangle, so to say, and on his starting line, making it hard for him to reach token. I debated between putting the token here and closer to the house. I think in hindsight I should have been putting it closer to the house to make it more easier for me to reach, but still it makes it very hard for him to catch, and he did the exact same thing on the opposite flank, on his big triangle. Then he decided to drop everything for first turn, giving me another hint that he might want to be aggressive in this game. So he dropped the following: zombies on each side to try to go for the secondary. Then he put some bats over there, a second unit behind his central line. Then he has a unit of guards to support the zombies to secure this target. Middle of his line, he has his main striking force, which is the big unit of ghouls, and the cavalry boss with all 4 characters. You have left to right Count, Felwraith. Then we have on the far right BSB, and just in the middle here the mage. And then he puts his wolves, spectral hunter, big unit of bats, and second unit of zombies. My counter deployment, so like I said, I wanted to face his big cavalry with mine, so I put my Tusker in front despite the forest placement. I was slightly backwards from the starting line, because I checked his option to chaff me, and I wanted still to be able to chaff him in case he wants to be very, very aggro. Then I positioned my giant here, a unit of bruiser with discipline banner to try to go for this secondary and occupy his gas, basically. Unit of bruiser that could potentially chaff his boss, chaff piece. And here I decided to put in my mercenary veteran, the Great Khan and the BSB, both of them. There is a wall somewhere over there, so I consider the fact that if I'm defending the wall with these 2 strong characters, I should be fine. My tribe star is only featuring my mage Mitch, and that's it. So it's only a small tribe star, no Great Khan this time, because I know that he has a lot of beefs on this top part of the board, so I should be able with the tribe star to either go for the points or secure the secondary if needed. I also put my frost over there in case I need the aurora. I could move near these 2 units that can take advantage of that, and also I could use the frosty in the second part of the game to help me secure the top spot. And I put these guys on the hill basically to zone the zombies from coming for this secure target. Regarding deployment, what I should have done, I think the fact that I deployed this unit on the far right, they are a bit trapped because of no musician. They cannot do much stuff. What I should have done, I think 2 better options. The first one is maybe putting them all the way back to say maybe later on, if there is an opportunity, I could march for this secure target, but only later on, and then put the giant as much to the right as I could. I think that would have been smart. Or put basically this unit on the far left and say, let's use the giant to try to make impossible for the zombie to get to this one. I think would have been also an option. Maybe even pushing a bit more the Tusker toward the bottom of the map to also have the option to go for it. If he tries to go very aggro with the cavalry towards the middle, could also have been an option, but I think this deployment wasn't good enough for me. His turn 1. He moves forward, but not too much, so the cavalry moves like a couple of inches. Ghouls push forward. He started to move his chaff around, so he put all the bats all the way there. Move his ghast on the hill to trap my bruisers. Turn around the zombies to go towards the objective, and reposition some stuff on the left. In his magic phase, he got the heal. Then Rot Within on my Tusker. He rolled a 655, so I had to let that go. And that was it for his turn 1. My turn 1. So as you can see, I tried to apply some pressure on the bottom part of the map. So I'm ready to take my time here. So I decided to back off towards the wall with my Death Star. So with another turn of backing, I could be behind the wall. So I moved 3 back. I moved them back as well to offer him very long or even impossible charge. And these guys stay in the position in case he wants to push hard to be ready to chaff him if I need to. Towards the top, I decided to move my mage out. Since he has almost no range damage, I put my mage alone to be able to cast spell during the whole game and not feared to be killed by some unit in close combat. I push forward with my tribesmen to threaten the flank of ghoul, be out of line of sight, and basically threaten stuff. And then I use my Frosty to give me range, aura range on these 2 units, but still threaten the top part of the map in case he wants to move forward with zombies. On the bottom, I march this guard forward. I know he can charge me, but then he would be far from the action. Not ideal. I would be giving away some points, but I didn't see any good option after my deployment. This guy is also a bit trapped, but moves to the flank just to give him a very, very long charge. If he wants to charge me, then I could counter-charge him. And his chaff is still quite out of position. Magic phase. I get Wrath of God off near the ghouls, basically to avoid his chaff moving into position to chaff my merc later on. Basically put some pressure on the chaff. And then with shooting, I will be killing 4 of the Spectral Hunter, leaving 1 alive. Thanks to the magical shot that helps a little bit as well. His turn 2, so he took a charge with his Death Star against my Bruiser. Darts, I fled, redirect, passes the check and charge my Death Star on an 11 Swift Ride, but failed that charge. Would have been a very dicey combat. I don't know how I feel about that because I'm under Aura, so I would be going before his units. I still think I have some decent chance to win it. It was very long charge and he failed that one. He failed also the gas to the Bruiser, which was a low charge. It was only a 6 needed. He failed that one, leaving me with a very, with a sweet spot, so to say. So a spot to land with my giant to apply some pressure, which I like. What else? You see Wrath of God is over here, so he moves his chaff towards the middle, but still far away from the Wrath of God. He uses a piece of chaff to chaff both Merc Vets and the tribesmen, and move his Spectral Hunter behind the Impassable to try to threaten me with terror check, basically. Magic phase. What did he got? He got Rod Within. Did I dispel it? I don't know. He got for sure +1 armor save on the cavalry in case I want to charge him with the Tusker. And I don't know if he got Rot Within. I think he got Rot Within with a high roll on my Death Star. And the Wrath of God came down, did a couple of wounds, but didn't kill any of the chaff pieces. I think I only got both the cavalry and the ghoul unit. Still good, but not that crazy. My turn 2. I check my possibilities. So basically, the tribesman could charge his chaff, and if I kill them, I can then just reform, face these 2 units, leaving him with a very long charge for the cavalry. I'm within Aura, so we'll be striking same time. I have a magical phase, so I felt okay about that. I back my Death Star behind the wall to get distracting and basically be in a position to counter-charge after they reform. As you can see, his chaff is far away, so I felt it's hard for him to engage without avoiding me to counter-charge him. I backed off my Tusker, basically to make sure he has a very long charge and just position myself to get some charge in the middle just in case he wants to charge me. I position my giant on the hill to threaten his advance move with the cavalry, force him march check everywhere, and then I push my Bruiser out of line of sight of the gas to threaten the zombies. I kept them on the hill for the moment. Also Frosty didn't move much. Magic phase. I got Hereditary off on my tribesman in combat, which was nice because it would ensure that he would wound me on 6 up with these 2 units. Shooting, I kill only 1 ghoul, and then close combat, I one-shot them. I had no overrun, so I just reform. His turn 3, he took the charge with both the ghoul and the swamps, and basically cover his flank in case I want to charge with the Merc Vets. He makes sure he can cover his flank with the cavalry charging me after, which is not good for me, but he pushed quite aggressively to do that, leaving me with a 5 charge with the Merc Vets and a 7 Swift Ride with the Tusker, so that could be interesting. He chaffed my giant to avoid me charging his flank, to pin him down, turn around the gas to get these points, and didn't move up top, and move closer his chaff for the later stages. In the magic phase, I binding scroll the ward save, thinking that I don't want any ward save in this combat, that we are going at the same time, and also not on the cavalry. He got Spectral Blade off on the ghouls, which I didn't care too much because he's wounding me on 6 up. He can reroll those ones, but shouldn't change the outcome of the combat because still wounding on 6 up. And then I dispel. I think this time he got Rot Within, but didn't get last time on my Death Star. Then close combat, I did like 15 wounds to him. He did 5 to me. So I won, and then he crumbled a bit more, which was nice. And then next turn I'm going to go before him because he's not charging anymore. So he's down to agility 1 and I have 2 basically. My turn. So here I took my time out because basically It's either we go now or we never go fight this cavalry Death Star. So the option that I have is to double charge with both the Death Star and the Tusker, and go for it. Basically, he has no buff on him. I have -1 weapon skill due to Rot Within, but nothing else than that. And basically, if I win this combat, that's the game here. So since I wasn't feeling too good on the secondary, and we felt that charge is quite good to take, I mean, I will never get better than that. Without buff, I have to trust them. We decided to go for it, so I took the charge. I failed the 7 Swift Ride with the Tuskers, which is a bit unfortunate, but could happen. Rolled 222, and then I got the charge off with the Merc Vets on a 5 on 2 dice. So that was nice. I positioned my cat to maybe restrain a little bit his option with the Reform, but I would have liked to go the other way around, but couldn't. Was too far. Positioned my Frosty to give a -3 agility to the ghouls and also to the cavalry boss. Charged the chaff with the giant and decided to go for the zombies since I couldn't escape. I thought might as well take as many zombies with me that I can. It could ease the job of the giant later on to try to hunt them down. Other than that, yeah, reposition my bruiser stick to try to go help the second unit to get the token. Here I see if I have 2 scoring units, that should help me. And here we're still stuck in combat. Also, I positioned the Frosty in case I get stuck. I could possibly support this flank next turn. In my magic phase, I got +1 to hit Rod of Battle on my Merc Vets. He dispelled Hereditary, and then I got -1 resilience on him. So that was really nice. Close combat, what happened? Let's start here. I did only 1 wound. He did 1 wound to me. I lose by 1, fail my check, and got broke by zombie, which is very disappointing. So I fled, but no matter what, I mean, doesn't change a lot. I would have been hidden next turn, so I only killed 1 zombie and got I flee next to the table edge, I guess. Here I easily killed the chaff. This close combat, I think I killed almost all of the ghouls. He crumbled the rest, and I did some wounds here, so this is quite good because I took an expensive unit. And the big close combat, let's zoom in. So what he has his BSB here, the mage here. My BSB is in contact with both the BSB and the mage. I have my Great Khan. His lord is over there, is only in contact with my Great Khan. And then he has the Fell Race. So I took decided to, say challenge with my Great Khan. He has to take it with his lord because if he doesn't, he cannot hit. So he has to take it. We go in a challenge. Agility step, he goes before me. He has like 8 attacks on 2+2+. He wounds like 6 times, which is normal, I guess. And I have ward save 4 up. I save half, so he did 3 wounds to me. Could have potentially killed me with a bit more luck, but 3 wounds I felt was quite okay. Then my BSB goes and kill his mage. So I do my 5 attack on his mage on 3 up armor save and kill him, which was nice. And the Merc Vets go same time with 11 + 12, 23 attack on 2 up poison. And I kill all the cavalry, all of them. So that was nice. Between, also some good impact hits. I mean D3 +1, D3 +5, strength 5 AP2 as well. So that's just too much. And I just kill all the cavalry unit. And then my Great Khan, to add some salt on the wounds, goes against his vampire on a 4 up because of Rot Within, but +1 to hit, so 4 up. With 5 attack, I hit 3 times, wound 3 times on 2 up. He has 6 up, 4 up, fail all of them. So I don't have even to roll multiple wound. I kill his count. But even I think with his count killing me, he would still have crumble because I did 3 + 13, which is 16 wounds, plus the charge, plus a rank, plus 2 standard. And he did not much, like I think almost nothing, maybe 3 wounds on my Merc, but almost nothing. So I just killed way too much for him and he crumbled. So that was more or less already the end of the game. I don't have a lot of picture remaining, but as you can see, then he has to take crumble check at the end of his turn and beginning of each turn. This unit will end up like be 3 of them when I engage combat with them. The Spectral Hunter will crumble. They will crumble a bit, but not too much. Try to protect as much as they can. The zombie unit that will crumble multiple time and end up completely crumbling, so I don't need even to get them to win secondary. So that's more or less, yeah, how we ended up. So that crumbled, I killed the rest, killed them, and it has only the ghast remaining, basically. So I took everything except the ghast plus the 400 for General BSB. He took off me only the bruises, which is, yeah, a huge win for me, 20-0. So that was a huge combat. I mean, turn 3. We know that everything is going to be decided on this combat, basically. Post-game analysis. My deployment, I think the middle was okay. I just felt I wasn't strong enough on the top token. I could have made my life easier by putting the token closer to the house, I think. I could have also used the bruiser stick with the standard that I put on the far right. That was just, yeah, wasn't going to achieve anything. Could have put it on the top of the map, try to help me, but this isn't also the perfect solution, I guess. For me, it was already going to be hard to get the bottom token. If we see the map, I think what I could have done is put the giant further down, the Tusker a bit more down, since I have 18-inch BSB and I'm still threatening both the ghast and the Death Star flank even. So I think I could have been a bit more down and then just leave the giant on the right to be annoying, and maybe later on try to push for them with the Tusker. Because I think the Tusker combat against the ghast is not bad for me at all, since he's only strength 4. So if the Death Star decides to push forward and I can go for the right, I think he's in trouble as well. So I think that would have been best option for me, and then just put the second dart elsewhere to do something else. So could have been easier. Risky push by VC. Yeah, I think he overestimated his Death Star or underestimated mine, but I mean, going in with Merc Vets, like I said, 28 attack, strength 5 total on 2-up, plus D2 impact, plus 5, plus the Great Khan against his Lord, who was always going to be a risky fight. All that with only a Rot Within in, which isn't much. I felt that was always going to be very risky for him. And even I didn't get in with the Tusker, because you can imagine if I get another D3 impact hit plus 7 attack more with the Tusker, that's even more secure combat for me than what I got here. So I think that was way too risky for him to push that fast forward. I mean, there is a reason why my list is good at, basically not get pushed too much. It's the strength of the close combat. I mean, it's just pure power, this Merc Vet unit. 3 bruisers on the right, like I said, that was a bad option. And yeah, Great Khan, I was a bit lucky here, but like I said, I don't felt that if I wouldn't have killed him, or if even he would have killed me, I don't think that would have saved him from crumbling because of the 16 wound done between the cavalry and the mage. I don't think that wasn't going to end up well, despite the fact that this challenge was quite dicey, and I was a bit lucky here. The round went quite well. We won on 7 out of 8 table with some big wins. So yeah, a perfect start in the event, I guess, against a solid opponent. So it was quite good for us. And yeah, let's see what happened on the next rounds. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Talk to you soon on the channel. Bye.